this edition of India Inc. 2.0, I'm Nayan Rai. I've come to a Pepsi bottling factory owned by Varun Beverages. My guest today is Varun Jaipuria, the son of Ravi Jaipuria, who founded RJ Corp, which is worth $2.5 billion today. Varun's vision is to take this corporation to $10 billion in 5 years. Let's find out how. Thank you, Varun, for joining us here. We are at Varun Beverages factory. The company is named after you. You manufacture a lot for Pepsi. You have the franchise right. Did you always know you were going to follow your father's footsteps and join the company named after you?
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I'm very excited to be here. Well, I kind of always knew, because I'll take you to a story way back when I was really, really young. You know, my father had one plant in Agra, and that's how we started his business from. And during our summer vacations, you know, me and my sister, we just spent a couple of months in the Agra plant every year. So like they say, they caught me when I was very, very young and I had no escape. So yeah, so I kind of knew, you know, growing up in an environment like this, around a Pepsi factory, I knew when I grow up as well, I'll always inherit this and take it forward.
So today you're manufacturing Mountain Dew here. I have to ask you this question right at the start of the interview. Do you drink any of the Pepsi stuff, or are you a health freak?
No, I'm a health freak as well, but I drink a lot of my beverages, and whenever I drink them, I obviously, you know, work out extra half an hour as well. I mean, this is what I grew around, and it's part of my life as well. So even though I can get as healthy as I want, I don't think so I'll ever not drink Pepsi.
Okay. You know, the other thing is that Varun Beverages went public, what, about 2 years ago?
Sure.
How was that experience? Is the first time your father also dabbled with the equity markets?
No, I think it was very new for all of us, because RJ Corp and all its subsidiaries till date, you know, apart from BBL of course, are not public, they're all held privately. So the experience was very, very new for all of us. And you know, in 2016, when we were going public as well, after doing the India Roadshow and the European Roadshow, we had reached New York. And in New York, I remember there was a certain incident which happened, and when my grandmother wasn't well. So that's the time, you know, my dad actually had to fly back, and I had to do all the road shows and do all the meetings there. So
you did the US road show?
So I had to do the US road show all by myself, and I was obviously, that was my moment of shivers and panic attacks. You know, will I be able to pull it through? Will I not be able to do it? And that was his life work over 25 years. So fortunately, you know, the IPO got oversubscribed, we did well. So personally for me, as an experience, even though the tragedy happened, you know, I couldn't ask for anything better in terms of, you know, what I learned from that experience of mine.
Was that your defining moment at Varun Beverages, being on that US roadshow without your father, the emotional trauma that you probably had of your grandmother also at that time?
Yeah, I think not just in VBL, it was a good defining moment in my life personally. So I think I would agree to that.
So now that you are at Varun Beverages, are you the boss or is your dad the boss?
See, I think, you know, me and my dad, right, the working relationship we have, we work completely in sync, which is very important. I think, you know, he's more of a sales and a finance guy. I'm more of a HR and technology-driven person. So I think, you know, going forward, we make a great team.
Okay.
And, you know, in terms of making any major decisions, we obviously discuss with each other in terms of the future of BBL. So I think we work together.
So what is your vision for Varun Beverages?
I think my vision is very simple, you know. Right now in Varun Beverages, you know, we want to grow every year, gain more market share, beat our competition, which is a tough competition. But apart from that, we've just acquired a new category from PepsiCo, which is the nutrition and hydration category, which is Tropicana, Gatorade, Lipton, and the energy drink Sting. So we want to completely grow that.
That's the good for you category that in the Dynamo always talks about.
Yes. Yeah. So we've just acquired it for our part of the business. And obviously my vision is to grow that. The second thing is that we are getting into the dairy business as well.
Oh.
You know, which is a very, very exciting time for us. And we're putting up the first integrated plant in the country, which will have dairy, CSD, juice, all together.
Sorry, dairy, you'll have ice, what else do you have?
Dairy, juices, and CSD, which is my core portfolio right now. So dairy is a very, very big segment. It's very unorganized and it's the fastest growing segment in the country today. So, that is going to be a
So what are your plans? What kind of products will you sell?
No, so it depends. So we have, we'll sell basic milk, value-added milk. You have your lassis, you have your chanch. Looking at India, dairy, Indians are very big consumers of dairy products, and most of the world, they believe dairy is not good for you. But in India, it is good for you, they say, right? So that's why, we're taking this punt and going ahead and trying out Pepsi.
But when do you think you'll have all of this going?
So we just initiated the greenfield plant right now. So I think next year we'll be completely ready by May and we're producing all the products under that.
So how much is Varun Beverages investing in all of this?
So our investments over the new plant in Pathankot is about 600 crores is what we're putting up right now.
Okay. And by when do you think you'll hit the market with all of these products?
I think by May we should be ready. Next May we should be completely geared up and ready with our entire product range.
So now if I were to look at the business of Varun Beverages of late, you're entering new territories.
Sure.
The ones you've existed in historically, I'm guessing you have the big market share as is public information. So which are the new territories you've entered and how big a challenge is that?
So recently, let me talk about this year itself because every year we are taking over more and more territories. This year we picked up 5 states like Bihar, MP, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. There historically the Pepsi market share is very, very low. And our main mission or the VBL family mission this year is to get the distribution right. Because unless you get your distribution right, your product is not going to be available. So our hands are quite full with the nutrition category, the hydration, plus the 5 new states coming in, and as well as the dairy venture what we're doing. So we're going to be pretty busy this year. We've got a lot in our hands to drive and take forward.
So on that note, we're going to take a short commercial break. Stay tuned. We're coming to you from Varun Beverages factory. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Welcome back. You're watching India Inc. 2.0. I'm Nayanthara Rai. Today my guest is Varun Jaipuria of Varun Beverages. In fact, we are at their factory in the outskirts of Gurgaon. Varun, you told me how you have a busy year. You have big plans for dairy.
Sure.
Now we are at your factory. I see a lot of green.
Right.
Mountain Dew is what is being manufactured here.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the market share that is enjoyed by Varun Beverages and Pepsi versus Coke.
See, like I was telling you earlier, historically the territories what we had, right? We are the market leaders in majority of them. It could be a Haryana, it could be a Rajasthan. Rajasthan could be 60 plus, Haryana could be 55 and plus. But over the years, right, we've been acquiring more and more territories. Like I told you, it could be a Bihar, could be a MP or Odisha. Now these markets are very, very low market share for PepsiCo. So, I mean, in majority of these markets, it could be 10% or 15%. It could be a Punjab, what we acquired, for example, 2 years back, that's only at 20%. So, overall, the VBL market share within the industry has come down because of the mixes, and it takes us about a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, to stabilize the entire business what we have.
Okay.
Understand the distribution, understand the challenges, and the preference in taste doesn't change overnight. It takes time to build up. So I would say today as VBL, we would be at 30-35% market share, but that is growing year on year because we're taking the markets, reshaping them, and we're taking it forward now.
We are at a Pepsi factory.
Sure.
Tell us about that secret concentrate. Is it, how do you guys get it? I'm sure there's a lot of interest around it. We've all grown up hearing about how it's kept in a vault, the secret formula.
No, I think it's very secret. I mean, even though we've been partners with Pepsi for the last 25, 27 years, that is something they will never disclose. Yeah. So we get it in the form of this gooey liquid. And then we obviously take the gooey liquid and we mix it with CO2, water, sugar, salt in the entire process. So I don't know, I know as much as you do, not more than that. Apart from the gooey liquid, I don't know anything else.
And that they're manufacturing in India, right?
That they're manufacturing in India itself, yes.
Yeah. Now, RJ Corp is also overseas. In a sense, you've got Sri Lanka, you've got Nepal as well. So is that something that you're looking at, maybe more countries?
No, see, every year we're trying to open one country internationally because every year we're acquiring more business in India itself. Now, our entire goal is that 80% of the turnover VBL should be within India and 20% as a mix should be international markets. So this year we opened Zimbabwe, for example, but we've acquired 5 new territories as well. So that mix between 80-20 does not change. So our vision is right now that, how do we, since we've been expanding so fast year and year, how do we stabilize the India business? And India is the real key business for us. And our aim is obviously working with Pepsi very closely. And when the opportunity presents itself to acquire the balanced territories from Pepsi as well and make VBL grow.
Okay. But then, the downside risk is all of this depends on your relationship with PepsiCo. Now, your father, Mr. Ravi Jaipuria, has had a fantastic relationship with them since 1991.
Sure.
you have to keep it up as well, right?
I think I'm a very likable guy, first thing, okay? So the second thing is, I think it goes both ways, right? Tomorrow, if, they have divested 60% of the business into a particular family, and, we are so dependent, and so it's a co-working relationship, and it's been on for so many years. And for me as well, even though I'm in the business for 5, 7 years, 8 years now, I think that's very fluent between Pepsi and us. I mean,
So how often do you meet Indira Nui?
we try to meet her once in a year. She always has a lot of bottler dinners and key partner dinners. So I met her recently 1 month back. So we try to meet her whenever the opportunity comes.
And the other game changer and something that is GST, the goods and services tax. How has that been for business?
No, I think that's very good for us, because earlier we had to set up greenfield locations everywhere. Now with the GST coming in as well, the plant efficiency is what we have. We're able to drive it up even further because I don't have to set up a greenfield plant everywhere now because there's no interstate tax. There's one tax which is across, which helps me to kind of increase my efficiency and productivity of each plant. And India being a very seasonal business, it's very capex heavy.
Yeah.
So this really is helping us to kind of drive volumes now and not set up too many greenfield plants.
We're talking at the end of May. I'm guessing this is your peak season.
Yeah. Maybe both are sweating, so let's hope this keeps going on.
So how much of the business comes in the summer?
April, May, June, I would say contributes about 40 to 45% of the business.
40 to 45%.
And that contributes, and the first H1 quarter contributes about 100% of our pack. So it's very, very large and very important for us.
Now, for all of you who don't know, Varun also has a sister called Devyani. And Mr. Varun Jaipuria actually named a company after your sister as well, which has a lot of restaurants in it.
Sure.
Are you also involved in that business?
So I'm not involved day to day in the business, to be honest, but I'm involved with all the businesses. Under the Devyani International portfolio, we've got the Yum brands. I mean, we've got about 300 restaurants between...
Which is KFC and Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut and Pizza Delivery under the same umbrella. So I'm very, very involved with them. And, last year we've grown double digit. And this year the endeavor is to obviously grow double digit as well. And again, we've been acquiring a lot of territory from Yum directly. So we've taken over Tamil Nadu as well and Kerala as well in terms of KFC restaurants from the Yum parent company.
Okay.
So the idea is very similar to Pepsi, We work very closely with them. And the idea is to get as much more territory as we can. And eventually the end game plan is to go public next year.
Next year is when you're going to get an IPO for Devyani International. How much do you think you're going to raise?
That's a great question because there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline from now to next year. And it would really be dependent upon how many deals we're able to close within the time frame to now to next year.
What's the minimum? I know you have a figure.
I don't have a figure, honestly. I really don't have a figure.
No?
No.
Okay.
But we're hoping that, we're able to touch close to $1 billion with that as a turnover.
$1 billion turnover is what you're planning for.
In terms of valuation of the company. Valuation of the company, by the time we end up going public, and hopefully these deals will fructify, we should be able to touch $1 billion.
After Varun Beverages got listed, now all of you have to be conscious of new shareholders. Earlier it was just you guys and the family. How conscious are you of wealth creation for shareholders?
No, I think we're very, very conscious. And if you look at a track record since 2016 to now, whatever we've committed completely to our shareholders, we've achieved 100% of it. And looking at our share as well, we listed at 440, we're looking at about a 700 rupee share now. So that's the reason we've been able to reach there as well. So the commitment what we give to our shareholders, we're very clear about it that that's one of our main priorities that we have to deliver. And we have been.
And are you now listing Devyani International simply because Varun Beverages has had a good track record in the markets, or was this always the plan that the companies will go public?
No, I think looking at Jubilant, the way they've done, they're really roaring, the success is there. We've got 60% of Indians which are below 25. The amount of disposable income which is coming everywhere and job creation, it will grow eventually, it has to grow. And the idea is that you have to reach scale. If you don't reach scale, there's no point going public. And today we believe we've reached that scale. And then how do you take the next step forward?
Yeah. So, but all the plans that you have, all these new factories, 600 crore rupee investment, etc., will you have to do more fundraising, you think?
No, not anymore right now because it's all coming from the internal accruals what we have within BBL as well. We've got a decent EBITDA last year, what we did, and this year we're on track to do the same number. So there's no borrowing in terms in a larger way which is going to happen. And going forward as well, we're not going to put too many greenfields because the integrated plant will be putting it the first in the country. But after this, we don't have any plans to do any greenfield after this anyway.
Cream Bell, that's also yours.
Yeah.
How well is Cream Bell doing?
No, I think, we've created a great brand and we have a very passionate and committed team behind that brand. And Cream Bell is doing very well. There's a whole ice cream boom in the market which is happening at the moment. again linked to, all the businesses are very similar in FMCG, you know. Pepsi is doing well, then ice cream does well as well. So I think, you know, it's a fantastic business what we've created. We're probably number 2, number 3 in the country today. Now the idea is that how do we scale it up and become India's number 1 ice cream brand? And with the dairy opportunity coming in as well, how do we take dairy and ice cream together and be India's number 1 company?
Okay, so they want to be number 1 in ice cream as well. We're going to take a short commercial break. Stay tuned. You're watching India Inc. 2.0. Welcome back. You're watching India Inc. 2.0. I'm Nayanthara Rai. Today my guest is Varun Jaipuria of Varun Beverages. In fact, we're at his factory in the outskirts of Gurgaon. Varun, a lot of your businesses, pardon me for saying this, would make all of us obese. Okay, look at the Pepsi portfolio, KFC, Pizza Hut, etc. But you've also got a healthy mix to it with Nike. Tell me about that business.
Well, Nike is something very close to my heart. You know, I'm an athlete.
Okay.
And
what do you play?
I play tennis.
Are you
That's
good?
I hope so. I'm not
You
really
didn't want to turn pro?
I hope so. Sorry?
You didn't want to turn
I'm
pro?
going to sell all this stuff around you as well, no? So I won't get enough time.
Okay.
So Nike is very close to my heart. I got the opportunity about 5 years back to tie up with them. And most of my life I grew up with Nike. So I said, you know, why not?
Just do it?
Just do it, exactly. Just do it, you know. With no pun intended, just do it. And 5 years back, you know, when I started Nike as yet, I told my father that all your companies are pretty well set up. You know, I need to get experience in terms of building my own business and figuring my own way out. And that's the time I'd taken a break from my Varun Beverages business and I got involved with Nike. So the deal what we had with Nike was 50% exclusive rights of India, which was South, East and NCR.
Okay.
So it's been going pretty well. We've got about 35 stores now. You know, we're growing slowly but steadily, you know, making our bets in the right markets, in the right areas. So I think it's pretty exciting.
So would you say Nike is now still dominating it in the premium sports market in India?
Premium, I would say it's tough between Adidas and Nike. I would still say Adidas is number 1 and Nike is catching up really fast.
Okay.
And I think, you know, what I'm really excited about is that we've just recently signed a deal for the kids business. So I've signed a deal with 5 brands, which is Converse, Jordan, Hurley, Levi's, and Nike, of course, and we're foraying into the kids business, which is just not there right now.
Okay.
And in the next 2 months, we're going to be opening our own stores and being online and starting the entire channel. So I'm very excited about that new category what we're entering.
That you're doing. That's your baby.
That's my baby. That's what I handle. That's what I kind of take care of.
Okay. And if I were to just talk a little bit about Nike as well, you said you recently got the 50% right to sell in India, etc. How is it doing? How many stores do you have? What's in the anvil?
No, so I think that it's doing well. We've got 35 stores, like I was saying right now. The last year we've grown at 27% SSG. And the entire strategy of Nike is changing now because they're not looking at number of doors. They're looking at how many productive doors can you have. So the bigger the door you have and how much revenue can you drive off it. So 35 or 30 doesn't make any sense. It's all about the top line, what you can drive. And I think, you know, we're growing in the right way, and it's all about location. If you're able to get the right location, the right area, you will grow because Nike as a brand name is so powerful that, you know, you can't go wrong with that.
So this is clearly the business that you like. You were born into this whole Pepsi thing,
Sure.
and now you like retail a lot, and you're spearheading that for the group, right?
Yeah.
I believe you, along with your sister, have started another new business. Tell me about that.
Oh, the J-Mart business. So, well, we call it J-Mart. It's
Jaipuria Mart.
So yeah, Jaipuria Mart. So essentially, it's a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven. Now, you know, there are a lot of Kirana stores which are not very organized in India. And our entire idea is that how do we offer a more organized store with fresher products at a better price. Now we are going into residential apartments, office spaces, and that's the entire model. We're not really in retail right now as a high street. So anywhere you find, 2,500 people to 3,000 people living, we take a space of 500 square foot and we put a J-Mart in. Now the highest selling things in a J-Mart is the products what we make anyways. Yeah. It's ice cream, it's Pepsi, and we have a commissary for Costa where we make sandwiches and everything else. Now this contributes to 30 to 40% or 35% of the mix, and we do it in-house. So we can leverage that in terms of margins as well and support the growth for J-Mart through this.
Okay. And it's been a good experience. Are you
No,
right
no,
now only in National Capital Region, or
we're in NCR right now.
are you
Just
going
in
to take
NCR.
this pan-India?
We will take it pan India. You know, my sister has big plans to grow this company. Obviously, coming from my dad, and my dad has the knack of starting a new business every year. He says
Really?
it keeps me young. You know, otherwise I keep doing the same thing. You know, I'm not kind of getting out of my comfort zone. So every year he wants to start something new. And yeah, so this year he started another business which I was telling you about, which is the TWG business, which is the world's most premium teas. And we've opened 2 stores here in India and 2 in London right now. So we're just venturing into a lot of
That's
different.
luxury tea.
That's, yeah, it's the most premium luxury tea what you can
I
actually.
believe it's like crazily priced.
It tastes really good as well. It tastes crazy, it's priced crazy, so it kind of makes
What
sense.
is the price?
So it's about 2,000 rupees what you pay for 100 grams.
Okay. Would that be the world's most expensive tea?
It depends because we have about 320 different teas out there. So it depends in which segment. You can have white tea, you can have green tea, you can have black tea.
Black
So
tea.
in each segment, you obviously have a lower tea as well and a higher tea. But the lowest one would be one of the premium price points as well what you have.
Varun, you told me that your dad likes to start a business, one business every year to keep him young. Do you think you'll ever be like that?
I don't know. Right now, within his businesses only, I think I'm learning about a new business every year.
Huh.
So I don't know. I mean, hopefully right now I have so much on my platter, to take forward. So I'm trying to bite this first, and once I'm able to do this, then I'll probably start thinking in terms of, you know, what I can probably go and achieve.
So, you know, the names of the companies are very interesting. Of course, under Ravi Jaipuria Corp, you've got Devyani International and Varun Beverages.
Sure.
So was this always his intent that my daughter is going to do this and my son is going to do that?
I don't know. He never told me that. He knew the son will do it for sure. But, you know, we're very close to him. And he's a very doting father by the end of it. You know, he's never said no to us for anything. So he's very close to us. And I think, you know, that comes from his emotional part.
Is he a tough boss?
Oh, not at all. I tell him, be tougher with us, be tougher with us. But I think, you know, he told me something very clearly long time back. And he said, you know, Varun, it's your life, your decision, you have to live it. So it doesn't matter if you get it right or if you get it wrong, just make sure you make those decisions, you know. And that's how you learn in life. So he's a real risk taker and, you know, he knows how to make that tough call as well, which is there. So I think basis that, you know, he's very open with us, you know. He said, listen, I trust you, go and do it. And if you need any help, I'm always there for you. So that's the attitude he's always had with us.
Have you adopted that from him, that how to take risks?
I'm trying to. You know, I keep telling my people, or my people keep telling me as well, is that, listen, you guys have so much data. When we were there back in the day, we used to use it fax. There was no WhatsApp, there was no emails, nothing.
Telex also.
Telex, exactly. So, you know, we had to wait for this thing to come after so many days. And today you have so much data. Still, you guys struggle to make a decision sometimes. So I think that they work with their gut. We work with our gut and data as well. So I think that risk taking ability comes with, you know, as many decisions you make. You learn over time. So I think yes and no. But
you know, right now everything looks very rosy, everything is going up, but there is no success without failures.
Sure.
What are the failures that you think defined your father or you?
I think the biggest failure what my dad had, that he went bankrupt. He filed for bankruptcy about 25 years back. He had a garments business, is how he started off from, in Montreal, New York. And then he had to file for bankruptcy, it didn't go well. He had a lot of debts to pay, that was a very hard time for us. And
How old were you?
I was very young, I don't remember, I was quite young. And my grandfather gave him the Agra plant. So he had to move from Montreal in New York, living a life there 25 years back, and live in Agra. And that's why we spent so much time. So I think that was a very big defining moment, and I still remember, you know, I have flashbacks. Till midnight, he used to be standing there and getting the trucks loaded to ensure the product goes out. So I think that one image in my mind I'll never forget, because that's what drives me actually to do better day in, day out, because I understand where we're coming from and what he's actually built over so many years with so much hard work. So that's something which is always there with
Was
me.
that the big lesson, never take too much debt?
I don't know. I leave that part to him right now.
You know what I find fascinating isn't that, you know, you're so young and everybody your age probably wants to build an app or be in e-commerce. But you're going the other way. You're, you know, truly investing in the brick and mortar stores. Why is that?
See, I think, you know, eventually, right, if you talk about a Nike, it's a lot to do with the brand experience, what you're able to offer to a person, you know. I can still go online and order a pair of shoes, but the brand experience what these stores offer is huge. That's one part, but I think the future is omni-channel. How do you get the online marketplace synced in with the brick and mortar? Because brick and mortar is not going to go away. Online is not going to go away. But how do you build an ecosystem? So we're in talks with Nike right now as well. But how do we, you know, sync all our inventories up and work with online and come to one marketplace and drive that business?
Okay.
So I think brick and mortar is very, very important, and the rest of the restaurant business what we're into, any place where you see accumulation of people, could be malls, highways, hospitals, these brands will ought to do well. You know, it's an impulse purchase, you know, so.
Tell me what's doing better, Pizza Hut or KFC?
KFC for sure.
Yeah?
KFC for sure. So even though there's a lot of health talk happening, that let's get healthy, but they still want fried chicken on the side.
Yeah.
So
I believe that India is one of the best markets for KFC. Is that true?
it is. It is. One of the best markets, and the throughput what we get per KFC is very, very high compared to any other restaurant which is there.
Okay. So with that, Varun, I'm going to thank you for inviting the team at ET Now.
Thank you so
we
much.
wish you all the very
Pleasure,
best.
pleasure.
Thank
you so much.